Irelia is a mobile fighter that relies on stacking her Ionian Fervor passive and resetting her Q, Blade Surge, to dish out an incredible amount of damage. But it takes more than fancy footwork and high actions per minute to be a great Irelia player. In today's video, we're going to be finding out how the #1 Irelia player has taken this champion to new heights. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Twigger and welcome back to another #1 player in the world video. This time we are featuring the #1 Irelia player in the world, Quaffle, Q-U-F-L. I'm gonna go with Quaffle because I don't know what else to call them, but this is the #1 Irelia player in the world. They are currently on a 77% win rate with this champion. They are from the Korean server, currently rated master tier, but as you can see, their account is currently level like 35 or something like that, so clearly this is not their main account, so I'm very excited. If you know what their main account is, I'd love to know in the comment section below. But an absolutely insane Irelia, very aggressive laner, so we should be seeing a lot of action this game, and I'm very curious to know how Irelia deals with the Lucian, because Lucian is not a fun matchup for any melee champion, either in mid lane or in top lane. If you enjoy these commentaries, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out a lot, and it means that I can continue doing these amazing commentaries for all you folks. Now, getting into some of the stats for this Irelia, they have a KDA of 8.0 kills, 5.7 deaths, and 6.3 assists per game. With a 77% win rate and I believe like 61 games, which is very, very impressive. And currently in their master tier, 55 wins and 15 losses. So an incredible 79% win rating on this account. So some pretty impressive stuff. In terms of their runes, they are running the Precision Tree, Conqueror, Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand. And the Resolve Tree, Bone Plating, and Unflinching, with the rune stats of Attack Speed, Adaptive Force, and some additional armor, because of course they're going up against this Lucian. Should actually probably move this thing over because it's not a Renekton that she's facing. She is facing that Lucian. There we go. We are all organized. So if you haven't watched one of these videos before, as we are currently seeing, actually, she is getting pushed out by this Lucian. If you haven't watched one of these videos before, we're going to try to focus on this Irelia and what her laning phase is like and what she does in order to get the advantages that she does to become the #1 Irelia player in the world. But we will go to the other lanes every now and again just to see how this game progresses overall. Now, in terms of the lanes, up in the top lane, Irelia versus the Lucian, Lee Sin versus Zac in the jungle, Renekton versus Katarina in the mid lane, and then Rakan, Yasuo versus Ezreal and Alistar. So some very, very interesting lanes going on in this game. And also just a fun fact that this is actually a Grandmaster to Challenger level gameplay, as you can see by all these people with their current rankings. So some very, very impressive people. She can clearly stack up against the Korean challengers on this account. But we do actually have the first gank coming up. This Lee Sin is going to try to find this Lucian. Irelia is going to use that Q to try to get in here, but it looks like a TP is coming in. It's going to be from that Renekton, but it looks like the flash coming in from the Irelia is going to be enough. Not going to be enough. The flash coming down from the Lucian, but it looks like the Q is going to land from the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to die to this one, but the Renekton is here to get that double kill cleanup on the Lee Sin and the Irelia. Unfortunately, that Katarina TP was just a little bit too late, so wasn't there to assist in the kill on the Lucian, and also wasn't there to clean up any additional kills. But looks like the Lucian and the Irelia just TPing into the mid lane, and it looks like we're just going to have a trade here. It looks like Irelia trying to go aggressive onto that Lucian once again, but is going to miss that Flawless Duet, which means that she's not going to get the reset on her Blade Surge. Lots of damage coming out there. She does have that passive stacked up, but the Lucian, one more auto attack. The auto attack is going to come through. Irelia is going to get a kill on the Lucian, but the traded kill coming from the Lucian on the Irelia and giving that Zac an assist might be a little bit more worth it for the blue side on that one. So as we can already see, some incredible amounts of aggression coming down from this Irelia, and bringing that up, a couple little things while she's running back to base. In terms of her overall stats here, she's known as an aggressive laner, a good duelist, a good CSer, a godlike Irelia, but interestingly enough, a vulnerable laner. And what that means is roughly 2.03 deaths prior to 10 minutes. And as we can already see, she already has those 2 deaths prior to 10 minutes. So clearly the vulnerable laner stat is going to appeal to this game as well. And another interesting kind of like fact here in terms of like the performance stats. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that because once again the Irelia is going very aggressive, but is going to take a turret shot here. But the Lee Sin is here to help. Don't know if they're going to go in. They are going to go in. Lucian taking a lot of damage, but nobody has a flash to get the final auto attack here. The Lee Sin actually does have flash. I'm surprised he didn't go in for that last auto attack. Lucian taking so much damage, but it's not going to be enough. Lee Sin is going to walk away from this one, but Irelia once again dying. Unbelievable. And it looks like people are kind of, oh, never mind, it was the Lee Sin's flash right there. He did just use his flash So I'm surprised that the Lee Sin didn't try to flash to maybe get a Tempest off or try to get that final auto attack off, but you know, once again, Irelia dying. This has been a very rough early game for this Irelia, but to be honest, I think when you're facing a Lucian who's going to be harassing you for the entirety of the early game, I think aggression is one of the only ways that you can try to remedy that fact when you're doing melee versus range. So Irelia's just been aggressive every single opportunity she can. So talking about some of her stats here, in terms of the performance statistics, very similar to master tier Irelia players in terms of creeps and kill participation, but she is way higher in terms of damage per minute and kills per assist. And speaking of damage per minute, average master tier Irelia players do about 643 damage per minute. This Irelia player does 786 damage per minute, which is over 100 more than average master tier Irelia. So you can kind of already tell that she wants to go aggressive every chance she gets. It looks like we're gonna have another gank here. The Lee Sin back here. The Lucian has not yet used his E. He is gonna dash over that wall. Lee Sin kick is gonna actually connect with that Q, and it is gonna be enough to shut down that Lucian. That is a very, very big deal. It looks like the only way that these guys are gonna stay in this game is by constant ganking this Lucian and making sure that they shut him down early. But it looks like the Katarina, Lee Sin, and the Irelia are all going in onto this Protect, and he is level 6, so he is gonna have that Dominus available for that extra tankiness and damage, but don't think they're actually gonna go in on this one. Irelia does not yet have her Vanguard's edge, so probably not a fight she wants to take, but she is still going in. Everybody's pinging this. Rakan has used that roam timer to rotate up here. Zac does not have his ultimate yet either, but it looks like the Alistar is here, punting the Rakan into the enemy team. Huge stun coming down from the Renekton, and that is going to be enough. Unfortunately, it looks like the red side just was not on the same page for that one. The Crying Bee coming down from the Lee Sin. I don't know if the Lee Sin has a ward available to maybe jump to, but he is just going to land that Resonating Strike onto the Raptors, but Renekton could very well fall. An amazing flash pulverize after the headbutt coming down from the Alistar to knock up the Lee Sin, and that is going to be one dead Lee Sin. Looks like the E is going to land onto that Lucian, and the ultimate coming down from the from the Katarina is going to be enough damage to give Irelia her second kill of this game. It's unbelievable to me that at almost 7 minutes, we have had 11 kills. It has just been an absolute bloodbath of a game. And we haven't even been able to talk about the Irelia CSing because she only has 25 right now. Lucian only has 31. It's really just been the bot lane farming this entire game. Everybody else has just been aggressive this entire time and roaming constantly. So, in terms of playing an Irelia here, like, the interesting thing about this Irelia, and she hasn't done it yet, but I've seen the runes and the build later on into this game. This Irelia player maxes her Q first, which of course makes perfect sense. This is the majority of her damage with that Ionian Fervor when it stacks, but she actually maxes Defiant Dance second. Normally you see on most Irelia players that they want to max the Flawless Duet second because it reduces the cooldown of it so you can get that additional blade surge off, but she tends to max the Defiant Dance second, and I think it makes a little bit of sense in this game in particular because of course the Defiant Dance has a 78% damage reduction but only a 39% magic damage reduction, so I guess against this Lucian having that oh, look at that flash into the ultimate. The E, is it going to land? She has to land it. It's not going to land. The Ionian Fervor is going to stack up, but it's not gonna be quite enough. An amazing amount of damage reduction coming from that W, and the damage is gonna be enough to pick him up, but unfortunately Lucian does pick up the trade kill. If that E had landed, that Lucian was dead and there wouldn't have been a traded kill, but unfortunately the E did not land. Lucian is a very, very tough person to land that E on because of course he does have that dash which is on a fairly low cooldown. But I think once again, when you're looking at this matchup between a Lucian and an Irelia, the fact that Irelia is 3-4-1 and the Lucian is 3-5-1, you're probably pretty happy about this because Lucian is known to be an insane lane bully against melee champions. So the fact that he's not dominating this early game over the Irelia says some pretty good things about Irelia coming into this mid game. And of course, all Irelia really needs is that Blade of the Ruin King, and then she's basically full build and can run around the map. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this Irelia does when we enter into the mid game. And kind of speaking the mid game, because we are getting to that stage, when you look at her gold advantage, in terms of like other master tier Irelias, the average master tier Irelia players, she gets a huge spike in gold starting from like minute 5, and then at minute 10 it just starts really skyrocketing. So I'm going to be interested to see, now that we're hitting around that 10-minute mark where she's probably going to be picking up the Blade of the Ruin King fairly soon, going to be interesting to see if that Irelia starts really spiking up in terms of kills, kill participation, and assists to get that gold stacking even higher. But It looks like everybody right now just kind of farming. Nobody's really built anything out of the ordinary here. There is a gigantic wave of minions. But it looks like the Irelia is going to go right in. The E, once again, is not going to land, but she does not have her ultimate, so she can't really do anything here. But we do have the Lee Sin and the Katarina coming in. This is a really big deja vu from the level 2 fight that we had earlier on. Zac is going to get the Q. Double Q after the flash. The Lee Sin kick is going to come out, but it's not going to be enough to get the large tanks of Renekton and Zac away from the enemy team. So it looks like Irelia is going to try to juke this one, waiting for that ultimate, but it's not going to be up yet. The culling going to come down from the Lucian. Nice double E coming from Irelia. Gonna pick up all those minions, stun them up. She's going back in. She's not gonna be able to get Lucian. She is with the W. I don't know if she's got enough to survive this one. Rakan is gonna be here. Shield is gonna get onto the Irelia. The double shield is not gonna be enough to keep him alive. And it looks like the Q from the Zac is gonna pull the Rakan back in. The E is not gonna land, and Rakan's gonna try to get out of this one with a really nice W. Sorry, flash after that. So it looks like it is gonna be what, a 3-for-1 exchange. The Lucian did die to that Irelia, but unfortunately the Lee Sin and the Katarina both died. So it was literally almost the exact same fight that happened at like level 2 during the early phases of this game. But it looks like Lee Sin is once again back here. The Katarina's back here as well, using that TP to get back onto this Renekton. Renekton might have overstayed his welcome, but Zac is here once again, not going to get the E onto anybody, and the Ignite is going to be enough to take him down. Katarina going to be able to take down that Renekton, and Zac is going to have to walk away licking his wounds. I don't even know if he had his passive available. He did have his passive available if he were to get taken down there. So once again, and this Irelia is just going into the jungle trying to find as much farm as she can. This has just been an absolute bloodbath of a game. So it looks like the Irelia is roaming down here to maybe try to make something happen down the bot side. No, she is just going to use that blast cone to get over into the mid lane to go and once again face off against this Lucian. I just cannot believe 18 kills in 11 minutes has been brutal. And once again, Lucian has no chance to sleep during this laning phase, because it looks like once again the Lee Sin is here, but the Zac was here to repeat it. But the Ionian Fervor is going to come out doing a lot of damage. Sorry, the Vanguard's Edge, but it looks like the Ezreal ultimate is going to be enough to clean this one up. Katarina ultimate going to be knocked up by the Zac, and that's going to be a double kill for the Zac once again. Just Zac being there at the right time, and unfortunately, the Irelia, the Lee Sin, and the Katarina just don't have enough damage to get through the Lucian and the Zac. So Zac is going to come up here, take away the Raptors, probably take away the Krugs after that. And unfortunately, Lee Sin is going to be a little bit far behind here, down already 30 CS at only 12 minutes into this game is very, very substantial. So we're just going to have to see, unfortunately, the aggressive playstyle that this Katarina, my lordy, Irelia, there we go, we're gonna get it here. It is an assassin still, it is a female assassin, but apparently we just can't get the name right. Unfortunately, the aggressive playstyle from this Irelia just hasn't really paid off this game. Lucian does have that Executioner's Calling for that Conqueror heal that the Irelia really wants to stack up on, and of course, Lee Sin going for that Gore Drinker Drain Tank kind of style. It means that the Executioner's Calling is gonna get a lot of value. The Rift Herald did get that charge off onto that second tier turret. Of course, these second tier turrets are worth a little bit more gold now in this patch. It looks like the Lucian is going to try to get away from this one. Irelia is not going to see him yet, but it looks like they are kind of pinging that she is there. Lucian is going to get away from this one. The first dragon did go over to the red side, so they do have that Cloud Dragon, which is of course nice for that cooldown reduction on the ultimate. But we haven't really seen yet a full team fight, and that's what I'm very curious to see, because this Yasuo has farmed up a ton, 114 CS. He is going back for like his second time now, is going to pick up that Noon Quiver, probably going to be going for that Immortal Shield Bow build on Yasuo. But Ezreal has already gotten his Ionian Boots of Lucidity and the Essence Reaver, and he's got his tiers stacking up. So he's not going to have many mana issues, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage in these fights from a very safe distance. But now we're seeing it, though. Irelia has gone back and finished off her Blade of the Ruined King. That is basically Irelia's bread and butter. So we are looking at a full team fight here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Irelia has joined the fight. Zac is going to jump in here. A nice Ezreal ultimate landing on 2 people. It looks like the Lee Sin might fall very early on in this fight, but no, he is going to live. A nice 3-person E coming down from the Irelia. She's going to have to get away from this one because too much damage is coming out. Katarina's going to try to get in there and get the ultimate, but it looks like Irelia's going to be jumping in for another fight, and that is going to be a kill onto the Renekton and the Alistar. Irelia picking up her 5th kill of this game. Going to maybe turn this back onto the Lucian, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So right now, it is a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of the red side, and no one is going to pick up this dragon quite yet. Very, very nice team fight, but the Yasuo did burn his flash. Irelia's going in for this moment, but once again is going to miss that E. Lucian is doing a very good job at juking that one out. And his damage is pretty substantial after finishing off that Divine Sunderer. So I don't know if anybody is going to really want to take this 1v1 fight. Lots of damage going down onto the Rakan. He is going to have to retreat with that W. And yeah, it just seems like even in a 2v1, unless you get a really good jump onto this Lucian, his damage is going to carry him through these fights. So 14 and a half minutes into this game, we have got 24 kills. If you were looking for an action-packed game, you have got it in this one. So as we can see, she has started to max that Defiant Dance second. So definitely looking for that additional damage reduction and the reduced cooldown on that to survive that Lucian damage. But it looks like the turret has been taken down in the mid lane. Lucian is currently chasing down this Yasuo, and he looks like Yasuo's going to re-engage here. Nice wind wall. The flash coming down from that Lucian as well. He's going to retreat under that wind wall once again. The Lee Sin is here. He's going to have to land that Resonating Strike. He's going to get very, very close. Land the Tempest for that slow. Is going to land the Resonating Strike. Very, very smart Lee Sin mechanics there, making sure that you can land the E onto the target to get that slow down to make it much easier to land your Q and just land a point blank Q on him. Looks like the Alistar actually got a kill onto the Katarina, and I kind of want to see what happened here. I think Katarina might have just been over pushing. Yep, looks like Katarina was just trying to get all the minions that she could. But unfortunately, the Alistar and the Zac were both here. Alistar does get the kill. She wanted to try to execute herself to the turret, which was a very smart idea. And fortunately enough, the Alistar was the one to pick up the kill, not the 6-0 and 6 Zac. So Alistar getting a kill, you probably don't mind that all that much. You did get a lot of minions, but of course, wish you didn't die. But Zac is going to engage onto this Lee Sin. Looks like not much is going to come from this. Zac did use his ultimate. Nice bounce up and kick from the Lee Sin to try to get the Zac away. But it looks like the Alistar CC is just a little bit too much. Really nice heal from the Gore Drinker. Flash coming down from the Lee Sin is going to get him to safety for now. I don't know if he doesn't have any wards available to get a safeguard to. Zac's E is going to come out, but it is going to miss. Zac is very, very fed right now, so he might very well be able to turret dive this one. Yes, absolutely no problem at all for that Zac. He did have to burn the flash to kill the Lee Sin, but that's going to be worth it every day of the week. While all that was going down, the Mountain Dragon did get taken by this red side, and Irelia was able to push down that first tier top lane turret. So in terms of gold, it is a 32.2k to 27.9k, almost a 5,000 gold lead in favor of this blue side. So we are going to need to see this red team start to pick it up. They have started to scale those dragons up. If they get this next dragon, that puts them on soul point, so it puts them in a pretty good position to potentially get that, I believe it's going to be, what is it, an ocean soul. So an ocean soul would be very, very nice for that regeneration after team fights, but they really are kind of looking for that soul route. Or they have to find a really good team fight. Yasuo is going in onto Lucian. Does actually land the knockup, but he is not going to use that ultimate. So probably a smart call because that very fed Zac was just around the corner. Don't know if they knew that he was there. But it looks like Zac is currently being caught out with 3 people. But no, he is just going to use that elastic slingshot right over the wall. They are trying to find this Lucian, but they are currently just not landing any of the skill shots that they need to lock the Lucian down. And it looks like they are going to jump in onto this Zac. A nice kick followed by the ultimate from the Yasuo, but we have to remember, Zac does have his passive still. No, he doesn't! He actually burned his passive in a previous fight, so Zac is going to go down. That is a gigantic shutdown. Right now, Alistar landing a really nice 3-man pulverize, but the Lee Sin, is he going to go in on that resonating strike? No, he's choosing not to. Irelia does have her TP if they want to go in on this one. She might very well TP to maybe try to do a turret dive here because the Alistar does not have his ultimate anymore. The TP is coming down from this Irelia. This is what we thought was going to happen. Let's see if this Irelia can make something happen. There are 3 members underneath the turret. It would still be a very risky turret dive because the Alistar still has pulverized. Even though he doesn't have his ultimate, they've got a lot of damage and a lot of CC coming out of that creature. So Renekton is currently coming up and the Zac coming up as well. I don't know if they want to do this, but the minion wave is coming. It's now or never for this team. The E is going to come down and miss onto the Ezreal, but the ultimate is going to land. It looks like the Irelia doing a lot of damage, getting a kill onto that Ezreal. The Conqueror stacks are currently keeping her alive for now. The shield coming down from the Lee Sin is not going to be enough, and the Lee Sin landed the Q onto the Renekton. That is going to be a kill. Zac does not have his passive, and he's going to fall as well. That is going to be a 5-for-1 exchange in favor of the red side. Very well played. Unfortunately, the Irelia did die during that one, but Irelia set that up very well, tanking that turret for just long enough, surviving for just long enough with that Ionian Fervor. Plus, the Lee Sin shields and the Conqueror heals kept her alive for just long enough for the team to absolutely obliterate that team fight. And just like that, we've evened up the kill scores 18 to 18, 34.9k to 36.1k. So still a 1,200 gold lead in favor of the blue side, but that is a big difference between the 5,000 gold lead to this right now. So if we get one more fight that goes that well in favor of the red side, that gold lead is going to be completely eliminated. And that might have been the exact turn that this red side needed to bring this game back into their field. Now, just in terms of the CSing, 140 CS to 117 in favor of our Irelia. which I've got to admit is very impressive considering how bad the CSing was happening earlier on into this game. Irelia is going to go in on this one. Is she going to land the E? The E is going to come out, but once again, Lucian has saved his E for this entire time, but that is going to be enough. That is kind of the one thing, is that the Lucian is saving his E to dodge the Irelia E, which is very important, but the problem is, once you use that Lucian E, and you've got a Lee Sin and an Irelia on top of you, you have no other escape tools to use. Irelia didn't even need to use her ultimate on that one, and just got an absolute free kill onto this Lucian. So in terms of like how this game has progressed, it was a rough early game for this Irelia, but I think the important thing to note is that it's been an even rougher game for this Lucian. He is currently 3-9-6 with 121 CS, and Irelia is 7-7-3 with 156 CS. So you're looking at this right now going, hey, Irelia is looking great. She went into a very, very bad matchup for her, went hyper aggressive, traded kills the majority of the time, and now Lucian is slowly but surely kind of becoming a non-factor because Irelia has the burst damage now to get on top of that Lucian and kill him before he kills her. So it looks like we've got the red side pinging this dragon. Is going to be up in about 20 seconds, 15 seconds actually, and I think that that's going to be their next kind of call to port here. Lucian is currently pushing down this wave. He does have TP, probably not going to need to use it, probably just going to walk up here. There is a cheeky pink ward in the backside of this dragon. And of course, now with the smite changes of both smites doing 900, Zac could very easily steal this because it is a very fair 50-50. He is going to go in for this one. The dragon is going to reset, which might actually be a blessing for this red side. The ultimate is going to come out, and it is going to land. Irelia's going to get a lot of damage down on. You're going to watch her to see what damage she can actually do using that blade surge to get the resets down onto that Ezreal. Ezreal's going to die to the Katarina. Right now, the red side is absolutely dominating this fight. Katarina going absolutely insane. Flash coming over the wall from the Irelia. She is going to use that blade surge to get over the wall onto the Krugs. Is it going to be enough? When's the blade surge coming up? 5 seconds. That is going to be enough, and that is going to be a double kill in favor of the Irelia and a full clean ace for absolutely nothing on the side of the red team. However, we can at least say the one little cherry on top for the blue side was the Zac did seem to steal the dragon. So that is an ocean dragon going in favor of the blue side, but unfortunately we have seen that gold lead swing over to the red side, 42,000 to 39.7 thousand. It just takes a couple great team fights for this Irelia to now pop off. She's now 9-7-5. The Katarina as well, 8-3-9, and the Yasuo 2-1-7. It's just been a fantastic game from the majority of this team. It did look a little rough in the early goings of things, but it looks like we might have another team fight here. The Baron is being taken down. It is going to go down to the red side, and Renekton might have to run away from this one. Nice double knockup from the Rakan. Baron going down. Irelia picking up a kill onto the Alistar. It looks like Lee Sin is going to follow that resonating strike. Ultimate coming down from the Katarina is going to be enough to kill the Renekton, and right now the Q is going to land once again onto the Zac, and that is going to be a 3-person kill for once again absolutely nothing. This red team is trading up so well. They are not trading any deaths for the kills that they're receiving or for the objectives that they're taking this game. 27-18, 22 minutes into this game. It's amazing to see how fast these Korean games tend to go. When you start finding snowball ability, you just take it to the next level. In 22 minutes, I mean, 3 dragons taken, 18-27, and the kill score is absolutely incredible. Irelia now as well, 10-7-7 with a 500 gold bounty. From where this Irelia started to where she's finishing, it is an incredible sight to see, and I'm very excited to see in this next team fight whether or not she's going to absolutely pop off. But right now, this team is playing so well together, and their team fights have just been flawless. I kind of feel bad for this Zac and the Renekton. They played the early game incredibly well. I've got nothing to say, but here we go. The duel between the Irelia and the Lucian. I think this is going to be very, very one-sided because the Irelia has just won this, finally landing an E, and that is going to be it. Unfortunately, the duel was abruptly ended by the Lee Sin taking that kill away from the Irelia. I think we are once again just kind of seeing that Irelia has reached this scaling point. She survived the onslaught that is the Lucian in the lane against a melee champion, and she's now at the point where Lucian he can't get the farm because they are just not letting this Lucian breathe. The entirety of this game, they've been finding this Lucian and killing him almost every single time. The Zac is going to engage her, but the E is going to land from the Irelia. The ultimate Vanguard's Edge is going to land onto him as well. She's going to have a lot of resets, healing up an absolute ton of damage, and the damage reset, oh my god, she got away with almost no HP, under 50 HP. The W max, ladies and gentlemen, that is currently stopping 72% damage. damage, gets that W off, absorbs the damage from that second shot of the turret, which should have absolutely killed her, but it didn't, and Irelia gets to walk away with her life and an extra kill on the board. Currently sitting at 11, 7, and 8, and that 650 gold bounty has been left untouched by the Zac. Very, very nice stuff. And it looks like the Rakan is currently pushing with the Baron-empowered minions on that bot side, while the rest of the team is currently absolutely destroying the blue side of this base. This is the last stand for this blue side. I don't know if they're really going to be able to do anything about this one. Katarina just getting off that little bit of damage. Nope, that is going to be turret 1 of the Nexus. That is going to be turret 2 of the Nexus, and I believe the Nexus is the last thing available. Some damage coming down just at the very end, but the FF comes down, and ladies and gentlemen, the Irelia and the red side pull it back from what was a very aggressive and messy early game to absolutely stomp after that 15-minute mark. But we don't know how well our Irelia did until we go and check those damage charts. Irelia had a really rough start to this game, but really brought it back in the end with a score of 11 kills, 7 deaths, and 8 assists with 186 CS compared to her lane opponent, the Lucian, who ended up 3, 12, and 6. In terms of the damage, Irelia did the second most on her team with 22,056, falling just short of the Katarina, and happened to earn the second most gold in the entire game. So for a rough start, this Irelia really knew how to keep their head in the game and pop off later. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on so you won't miss any new commentaries or league videos. My name is Twigger, and I'll catch you all next time.